everybody, this is Heidi Marsh with Stampin' Something Cute, and today I want to share with you this cute project that I made with the So Hoppy Together stamp set. That is this set here with these cute little frogs. This is part of our Sale-A-Bration promotion, which is Stampin' Up's biggest sale during the year. It runs from January through March 31st every year, and it gives you the opportunity to earn free product for every $50 purchase you make. So if you spend $50, you can earn this stamp set for free. There's also lots of other things that you can earn for free, and it is true confession time. This was not on my radar when I saw the Sale-A-Bration items this year. There's so many cute things, and there's other things that I had my eye on first. And I just happen not to be a person that is drawn to animals and creatures. Everybody don't gasp, okay? Because I know there's lots of you out there that just love little creatures and things. I am more flowers and butterflies and things like that. But I saw the most adorable projects that ladies were making with this stamp set, and I just had to try it for myself. And I'm so glad that I did, because he is just really super, super cute. So before we get started, the other thing I wanted to share with you today is the way that I colored him. And I wanted to kind of go over the differences between using blender pens, which is how I colored him, versus our Stampin' Right markers and the Stampin' Blends markers that we carry as well. Stampin' Blends are super popular right now, and I'm seeing lots of projects made with them. I've never tried them, but I recently ordered some because I wanted to try them. Again, I made this with our Stampin' Blends markers, and those come in a package of 3, and they are clear markers. And you're like, how am I coloring with clear? Well, what you do is you pick up color from your stamp pads, and that's exactly what I did here. I used my Lemon Lime Twist and Granny Apple Green stamp pads to go ahead and color him in, and I'm going to show you how to do that during this video. But I just kind of wanted to do experiment, since I had just gotten some Stampin' Blends markers. I also made one to see the difference in what he looks like with our Stampin' Blends markers. That's different than our blender pens that I just featured. That's these two here. These are both Granny Apple Green. Each of our Stampin' Blends comes in a lighter and a darker so that you can shade. This was colored entirely in the lighter and some shading with the darker for his body. So that's how that one came out. And then the third one I did was using our Stampin' Right markers, and that one's this one here. And I used our Soft Seafoam and Granny Apple Green because I learned that I don't have Lemon Lime Twist, which is what this color is and what's on his belly here. I don't have that marker. And so I promptly put that on my wish list, because Lemon Lime Twist is going away when our new catalog comes out in June. So if you don't have some of the in-color things like re-inkers or Stampin' Right markers, and there's things that you want in those in colors for the 2017 through 2019 years, order them while supplies last as quickly as you can, because they will start running out and they will not reproduce those. Once they're gone, they're gone. So at any rate, enough about that. Here's my 3 frogs. I think they all came out cute. But this experiment I wanted to do to share with you guys and to satisfy my own curiosity, and really to point out that if you don't have something that somebody has when you're watching a tutorial, you can always improvise and use what you do have on hand, and it can come out just as cute. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started on this project. So for today's materials, you're going to want to have a piece of thick Whisper White cardstock, measures 8.5 by 5.5, and we're going to score that at 4 1/4. I'm going to bring in my Stampin Trimmer and go ahead and run that score line down, because I haven't done that yet. Just place it at 4 1/4, and we're going to run a score line with the light gray blade. That's our scorer. The dark gray blade is our cutter, in case you aren't familiar with the Stampin Trimmer. It is actually my favorite paper cutter I have ever owned. I have been crafting for card making, I guess, really for over 25 years, and I have never had another paper cutter that I like better. So I highly recommend that one. All right, so there's our card base. You're also going to need a piece of Designer Series paper. Tropical Escape is where this comes from, our Tropical Escape Designer Series paper. This is, I thought, was so cute to go along with the frog with the green polka dots. This one is cut at 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches. And then we're going to need another piece of our Tropical Escape Designer Series paper. This is cut at 3 1/2 by 3 1/2 inches. And then you're going to need a scrap of Lemon Lime Twist. That's going to be the panel behind the frog, and then enough to give you some space to cut out one of these little hearts. And you're also going to need 2 scraps of regular Whisper White, one for your sentiment and one for your frog image. All right, so first thing we're gonna do is start with our larger panel. And the other thing that we're using today is our textured weave ribbon in Granny Apple Green. I have 2 pieces here. One's about 7 1/2 inches and one's about 10 inches, and you'll see why in just a minute. So before I attach anything, I want to go ahead and get this middle ribbon attached to my panel. So I'm going to go ahead and just find about center for myself, wrap that in the back, and I'm just going to use some regular Scotch tape to tape that onto the back. I've seen lots of ladies use just regular Scotch tape to tape this on the back of their paper, and it works so well. Rather than wrapping that around and pinching the paper, and this is just really super easy to do. And nobody knows you used Scotch tape. That's the best part of it all. So there we have our ribbon going across the middle, and we'll be doing our bow with the other piece that I cut. So let's attach this to our card base with our snail adhesive. Oh my goodness, there we go. It's having trouble running that down. All right, so we'll put this right in the center here. There we go. Okay, from here, we're gonna go ahead and take our second panel of Designer Series paper, the 3 1/2 by 3 1/2 inch, and we're gonna add snail to the back of it. And we're gonna attach that to the left side of our card. All right. Now we're gonna do some stamping. So we're going to take our Whisper White scraps and our frog, and then today's sentiment says for your birthday, and it comes from our Birthday Cheer Cling stamp set. I have a project coming up using this stamp set as well, so don't miss that video. We're using Memento ink pad. Memento works great when you're trying to color in images. It doesn't bleed. Okay, there's our frog. Okay, I have found a new love for little animals and creatures for stamps. Now I think I'm going to have to order more. And our for your birthday sentiment. Set that aside, and now we're going to come in with our big shot and get some of those shapes and things cut out. So first, we have our magnetic platform on our big shot, which is my favorite when I'm using Framelits dies. You always want to put a cutting pad on top of your magnetic platform. You don't want to cut into your magnetic platform. Put down your cardstock. And today we're using our stitched rectangle framelits. Those come in a set of 13. And these are fantastic for layering on a card. This is the exact size you need to go just for an inside panel, and they go all the way down. So they're just fantastic for that. They've been some of my favorite dies that I've purchased. So we'll go ahead and put that right around our sentiment. And then we're going to take our lemon lime twist cardstock and cut that little rectangle panel here. All right. Oops, just getting a little bit off. There we go. Run that through. Okay. Oh, I was just a little bit, let's try that again. My plates are a little bit warped. If you ever find this, so this is a good lesson, good mistake on camera. So if you ever find that your framelits don't cut through, sometimes those plates can get a little warped. Just turn them right over and run it back through again. And actually I'm going to run it back again this way. Make sure I got a good cut on there. I am definitely overdue to buy new plates. Another thing on my wish list. And that definitely did the trick. So there's our one panel and our sentiment. All right, we don't need that one again, but we do want to come back in with this scrap. And this is a heart die that comes from the Be Mine Stitched Framelits, and we're just going to need one of these little hearts. We don't even need the whole panel, so I'm going to run that through so I can get one of those little hearts. And I'm just going to go forward and back. All right. Got lots of little hearts coming out of there. So now I have the one that I need for my card. Okay. Put that away. Now, the So Hoppy Together stamp set, they did actually release framelits dies for these frogs, but they were so popular that they sold out. So, but not to worry, because you can still fussy cut him. I'm here today to show you it's not that hard. I know we get spoiled with our framelits dies, but it is not that hard. So we're gonna pull in our blender pens and our stamp pads, and I'm going to show you how to use those to color him in. It's my Granny Apple Green, my Lemon Lime Twist, and what I'm going to do is just pick up a little ink on one of my blocks. And one here. You just have to tap it in there, and that's like more than plenty ink. That would be like probably 3 cards worth, but that's okay. So we'll come in right here and we're gonna pick up some Granny Apple Green with our blender pen, and we're just gonna start coloring him in. And this actually gives a nice little almost watercolor effect even. And as it runs lighter, you can pick up a little more ink as you go. And you don't have to be super perfect. If you go outside of the lines a little bit, it's no big deal. It's handmade. He has such thin little legs and arms. Okay. And just keep picking up color as you need it. And you can see some little areas are darker and some are lighter. And I think that actually makes for a nice effect. A nice little watercolor effect. These happen to be very well loved pens also. You'll see that my tips are pretty stained. I've had these for quite a number of years actually. I ordered them, I can't even tell you how long ago I ordered them, but it's been a while that I've ordered them, and they've lasted a really long time. Really, really long time. So good investment, especially if you don't have markers in the colors that you're looking for. Like I found out that I didn't have the Lemon Lime Twist, and that was the color I wanted to match that cardstock on the card. It works beautifully when you don't have the color you're looking for. So I'm gonna pick up some for his belly area. And as that has a chance to dry, so to speak, it's pretty much dry already, but as that has a chance to seep into the cardstock, it just kind of blends even better. So it's done being colored. What you're gonna wanna do next is take your smallest, sharpest scissors. Believe it or not, another item on my wish list is paper snips. I don't have paper snips. I couldn't believe that I don't know paper snips after all these years. So your smallest, sharpest scissors, and you're just gonna cut right around the shape, and it doesn't have to be precise or perfect, but the best thing to do is to leave just a little bit of a white line on the outside of that black line of the image. That way, when you are cutting, you don't see maybe some of the harsh cut lines that come in as much. I try to make smooth edges, but I'm not perfect for sure. So leaving that little white border will actually trick your eye into thinking that the cut is more perfect and precise, which I just love. Anything to make me look better, right, on my crafts. So you're just going to cut around. Another tip for fussy cutting is to try and move the paper a little bit more than your scissors. So what you'll probably notice is I'm kind of twisting and turning the paper as I'm going around corners and edges, and that really helps get in there nice and tight so there are less rough edges as I'm cutting around the shape. And quite honestly, he happens to be maybe a little bit more difficult than some other things I've cut out. So you'll see how it doesn't take that long to actually fussy cut some things. He has a few more nooks and crannies than some other things that you might try to cut out. So if you haven't ever fussy cut or you don't like to do it, give it a try and you'll realize that it's not as bad as you think. So, all right, he's done. He's all cut out. He looks cute to me. All right, so we're going to go ahead and pop him up on some dimensionals. I'm gonna put 2 on his body there. And we're gonna put him right on our lemon lime twist rectangle that we cut out. Right there in the center. He's so adorable. I just love him. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and put dimensionals on the back of that and put it on our card. If I can get backing of this off, there we go. We're gonna place him right here to the right side, kind of centered from top and bottom. All right, now our other piece of ribbon. So I'm not a great ribbon tire, but I will do my best while I'm on camera. We're just gonna take this 10-inch piece of ribbon and tie a bow. See, I told you I'm not very talented with this. We're gonna tie a bow. There we go. And you're gonna take some nice sharp. I have a nice pair of sharp scissors that I use only for ribbon and things because my other ones will definitely make it fray. So I'm just gonna trim those little edges right off. And then I'm going to put that aside for a second, come in with my sentiment, and I'm going to place my, I probably should have used liquid glue, but that's okay. We can use just a tiny bit of snail on this guy. If we can get it, actually it'd probably be easier if I put it right there. There we go. Oops. All right, so we're gonna put him right there with snail. If you get a little extra, that's okay, you can rub it right off around those edges. And then we're gonna come in with our heart epoxy droplets and our take your pick tool. I need my paper piercer part out. And these fit actually perfectly almost over over those hearts that come out of that Be Mine stitched die. So we're just going to put that right on top of our heart. And these are self-adhesive. Line that up. Oops, a little bit more. There we go. And give it a good press on there so that there's no air bubbles underneath that heart. All right. And now I'm going to come in with my mini glue dots. Pick up a few on the back side of my bow. Let's see here. There's one. Sometimes they're hard to see because they're little. And I'm going to put a couple, 2 or 3 on the back just to make sure that it's nice and secure. I'm going to put that right on the side of my card here. And then I'm going to come in with a couple more dimensionals. I'm going to add them to the right side because I don't want to interrupt this. I want the sentiment to attach to my designer series paper over here. And I'm going to go ahead, oops, and add that right to the left of the frog. And there you have it. That is done. So I hope you enjoyed this project. I hope that you could see maybe some alternatives to if you don't have something in your craft stash that you, it's easy to improvise and it's easy to recreate with just what you have on hand. If you have any questions, please leave those for me down below. I love comments. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you want to see more videos, please subscribe to my channel. If you want to be notified when new videos come out, click the bell and you'll be notified of videos as they come out. You can also like me on Facebook. You can follow me on Instagram. Or you can subscribe to my blog at stampinsomethingcute.blogspot.com. I hope you have a great day and stamp something cute.